everyone, and welcome to Between Plays Stock Market Strategies. And with us today, we have Alain from The Bid, Capital and Fine Wines. Hey, how you doing, Alain?
I'm doing fine. I'm in my basement this morning. I had to self-isolate because my neighbor had caught COVID and I was with him on the weekend. I never caught anything yet, but I self-isolated in case to protect people around me, stay strong, stay safe. So that's what I did.
Oh, okay, all right, okay. Well, you don't look like you have it, so it's good. That you're feeling all right.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks,
Uh,
Albert. By the way, Albert,
yeah.
I still didn't order one of those hoodies or one of those champion hoodies that you put up on that store. I need to get one because I have to have one of those between plays when I do some of these interviews. Because right now I have, I don't know where, it's a Marmot, so it's not one of yours. So I have to help you out on that. I'm very happy. I see you're putting a lot of stuff out, and congratulations. Keep up the good work because I think this is going to be huge in the next few years because I think you're more and more followers, more and more people talking about it. I'm getting a lot of calls. I get a lot of texts, emails liking what you're doing, liking our interviews and other ones also with Alex and Sandeep. So this is very good. I'm proud of you. So keep up the good work, my friend.
Hey, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate that. I really do. And yeah, I'm working really hard on the store. I mean, I was working on it all night last night. I think it went been around 3:30 in the morning. So there's gonna be a lot of great stuff. I mean, there's a lot of great stuff on it right now, but you give it like maybe even a few more days, and it's the amount of different items that will be going on there and different saying. It's not just always going to be saying like between plays. It's gonna the variety is look, the Between Plays is a brand, and that's what we're doing. And when people are going to see what it is that we're going to offer when it comes into fashion and accessories and stuff like that, they're just gonna be like, what the hell? Didn't expect for this to happen. Wait when the app comes out too. There's gonna be stuff on there. It's gonna be very interactive. Anyways, well, let's not talk about that. Let's talk
Okay,
about
just another question I had for you. TriStar, I saw at the end of your video or the last few ones that TriStar as is that TriStar the guy of that were behind what's his name, that UFC guy,
George St. Pierre.
George St. Pierre, the TriStar team.
Yeah, the
Is
TriStar
the
team, like
guys?
very, yeah, the TriStar team very heavily involved, creating, some of the greatest UFC fighters ever.
Yeah. Because I know I had met a couple of trainers that that had trained George St. Pierre, and yeah, and then I saw that on your on your at the end of your one of your videos, and I said, "Oh my God, this is amazing! I think you're getting a lot of traction, and this is good. The more the merrier, you know."
Yeah, it's honestly, it's excellent. I got in there, and these guys, they make you feel like it's home. Like they're so receptive. Like everyone there, it's a great atmosphere. It's a great, grounds for training. It's a Montreal TriStar West Island branch,
Yeah.
and
Okay, just to get back to our business, getting this video
CTS.
done, I just want to put a little note out because I got a few emails and texts on the warrants, and I know this guy from Germany, Michael, has sent me a message saying, "Okay, I understand. Very good interview about the warrants. There's so many warrants that we could go into details, but I don't think for the Monsieur, Madame, tout le monde that has to understand them because I think if you do research, and I think you did, many warrants are could be like options. So we won't get into that, but." He was asking the question was Michael was asking, how do I exercise my warrants? Because he goes, I have many warrants, and what do I do? So to answer his question, there's different ways that if they're in a brokered account with a broker, which often we have because you need to get their opinion on what you're dealing with. Well, they could actually send the warrants in with the money in your account, exercise them directly with the company, and then the company sends them back directly to the broker, and it goes right into your account. That's an easy way going through the broker. The other way is you have your paperwork at home, So you fill out your paperwork, send in with a check to the company or a bank draft or a wire transfer or whatever. And then the money gets back, the certificates gets back transferred to you. And then you go deposit it either in your discount account or your brokerage account. And so those are the two easy way to do it. And, and if you want any other help, hopefully you have a broker to help you, because like here, we are here to help you educate, and we're not here to tell you what to do. We're
No.
just telling you how to do it so it's easier for you. So hopefully you have a broker and understands. He'll understand because you've seen it. And that answers the question. And I think if you have other questions of that nature, we're there to help you guys out. Thanks.
Yeah, but exactly. We always are giving the best, knowledge based on our opinions. It's an educational slash entertainment channel. And naturally, we're going to always be honest with what we know. And that's for everything, right? I mean, we're going to give out what we know. And this is why part of it is, when our motto is like research, prepare, plan, and execute, because you have to learn how to do your own research. And whether it comes to warrants, like you're saying, or anything, you have to know how to do it. You can't just blindly go in and say, oh, I listen to anyone and everyone. First of all, I'm against that. I listen, my own personal history with my background, everybody knows what my background is. Okay. That's been following since the beginning. And one thing I know is, in life, you need to do your own homework. And if you're lazy and you let someone else do the whole own homework, and then you fall flat on your face, the only person that you have to blame is yourself. You have to do the research,
Yeah.
prepare, plan, and execute. And it's like that for everything in life, not just for stocks. It's for real estate. It's, for educational. Like if you're going to go to a school, you need to do the research. And even with the person that you choose to be with, for the rest of your life, you got to, know the person. You got to, like, are your values the same? You can't just blindly go into anything and think, oh, everything's great. Sure. You know what? We can always hope, but best thing is if you do some research and you put the work into it.
Like they say, Italians often say, you don't choose family, but you could choose your friends.
There you go. Exactly. Right. I get that. So look, let's get to CTS. All right.
Yeah. You wanted me to talk fast on CTS.
Yeah.
Very,
Let's do some
very,
CTS.
look, a very good interview again with Sandeep. I think this guy knows what he's talking about. I
He's on
did a bit
fire.
of, yeah. He's well, I don't think he was on fire because I think he had a little cold or something, but it's
Yeah.
okay. Thank God you talked a bit more, because I think he needed a glass of water. But he looks like a very genuine guy. I like the way he talks. He knows what he's talking about. That's very important, because people want to know that. On my side, I did a few calls. I did a couple of research, and this is a very good roll up done with guys in Toronto. Management apparently is very sound. It's very strong. And I think, like I just like I heard through Sandeep, that now they're rolling. They want to, the way their vision is rolling into Europe. I think this is very. This is the future. Cloud, everything's on a cloud right now. So I think they have like lots of distribution. They have lots of lots
Strategic
of
partners.
strategic partners, roll-ups that they've done. The only, like, I would look at it is, like, when they did these roll-ups, they bought management companies. They were paid all in stock instead of cash. Those are things that you got to be careful on. Hopefully management stays and they don't sell their shares, because that could be something that could come against them. But all in all, company, the revenues are there. I think the revenues could go up even more substantially, because right now they just rolled them up, like Sandeep was saying, this summer. So I think that the next 6 to 12 months, you'll see what's going on. On the technical side, I looked at the graphs.
All right, Alain, we got the share screen up over here. And so naturally, we're going to jump onto the charts. And, if you look today, it's doing pretty well because it's plus 11 cents up, all right, 1.68%. And when we first started, doing the recording of the show, it was at 3 cents. So it's on the move in the positive direction
Yeah,
today.
yeah.
So
Just to
pretty
tell
good.
you on, if you look at it, if you look at the graphs, it went to a high of what, $12 a stock, or 11.14, 11.
Yeah, it was at 12. Well, over here, I mean, it
Yeah,
went up
12,
and down,
twelve
but
13.
12.20, 12.23.
Yeah, around 12.20. But
Yeah.
don't forget, if you look at the highs, and the general markets have came down lots in the last, 3, 4, 5 months, because of the interest rates going up, inflation problem. So maybe you're following the, just the Nasdaq that has come down. So maybe that's the only thing. I looked in depth into the chart, and the only thing I saw that there's a little gap 2 years ago at about 457, something like that.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that I always think technically a gap should always be covered. That's the only thing I would say. And except that, I see a major resistance around $5. So from $12, 650, you'll never catch the low, you'll never catch the high. But that's when you have to start saying, okay, when am I going to start picking and buying some of these shares? If you like, of the technology sector, what it's done, they've bought I think 3, 4 companies lately. They're going to Europe. What are they gonna revenues are gonna forecast going forward? And if the Fed stops moving rates up, I think we have so much money on the sideline by major funds, like in the States. I'm talking about $5 trillion, I heard, that is ready to go into the market. Stocks like that will just rocket back up. It's like, and if they go too far down, it's like an elastic. It's gonna snap back the other way. So what's the best price? I think already it's as a good price going in, but those are the two factors I would look at: the $5 and the gap that's around 457. But except that, the company looks sane. The company has the revenues, the management is there, and I think between me and you, they're doing everything for this to be a long-term company that could rivalize maybe CGI in the next 3 to 5 years. So
Yeah. Definitely, when you're looking at this gap that you're talking about, all right, and personally, we have talked about a few of these gaps between you and myself in other companies,
yeah,
and I found that it was very interesting that you do go back and look at these gaps. And what I found interesting about you going back and looking at these gaps is that even though companies will be riding really, really high, you go back like even 2 years back and you're like, whoa, there's a big gap somewhere. Maybe sometimes they're even bigger than this. And you're like, gaps need to be filled. Like, there's a thing, right? And you every single one of those, privately that we've spoken about, you see a stock go up and you see it eventually, even if it takes 2 years or whatever, or a year or 6 months or whatever, it's like it tries to come back down to fill that gap, and then maybe it shoots back up, and then we have a serious rise. Like, it's
yeah,
weird. It's almost like as if it's like a wave, and it's
yeah.
almost like as if
It
the
is.
wave has to come back to grab, to fill, and to go back up again.
Yeah.
Very odd. But what I
It is,
really,
but you're right. When you do technical analysis, if you take courses, they always tell you that. Then, we've seen it in years back, and you say this will never happen. The only time a gap doesn't get filled, I've seen, is a takeout, because if at a takeout, stock gets gapped and that's it, they're gone. But if it's not a takeout, there's going to be the economy. There's going to be something that's going to happen. Hiroshima, anything that can make the whole sector boom, or and the people get scared. Boom, it covers it, and you said, "Oh my God, how come it always covers it?" So those are the only thing when you're doing research. Not a lot of people look at that. I just did it because educational. We have to be honest. We gotta, tell the people what we see, and you know, doesn't mean it's gonna cover, but I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah, and over here we could see that we have three candles that are showing a lot of strong pressure going up. Over here, a little bit down, but we have the
Yeah,
absolute three over here, which
yeah.
is a significant play to show that there's a lot of strength
And where
uh,
was it? Go
cover
back.
to go forward.
When was it? Is it July when it was hit about $5?
Yeah, right over here you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, this was
July, July.
absolutely July. Yeah,
Mm.
July. Yeah, you see here. Yeah,
You
it's
see, July it comes and it looks like the $5 looks like a resistance. And I don't know if you do your
yeah,
Bollinger Bands or you do
absolutely.
your
I'll throw some up there.
yeah, you'll
Um,
see, and it's going to be funny how we're going to be close to those $5 mark probably.
Yeah, and it's exactly that. So what we have over here is we have the low on the Bollinger Bands at exactly 496, the mid of
So
683, and then we
yeah.
have a pressure here to bring it up around $7.18 from where it's sitting now at 667.
So
So,
you
and this
see,
is
so
the
we're
pressure we
in the
probably have.
range. We're in the range, and you see a Bollinger Band is telling you. Of course, the Bollinger Band are gonna at a point probably get closer and closer together, and that's what's very interesting when Bollinger Band starts getting closer. The closer it gets, the minute it's either gonna pop up or go down. So those are the things you got to watch when you're buying, because if it pops up, you better be running after it because it shows that this was about to run.
And
But
if
right
you,
now, it's a range, and I think that we're in a good range.
yeah,
And like we said, we don't know. They're talking about maybe raising rates. Maybe now today the Fed said that maybe in December they won't raise it as much. So you see, you're getting a bit of confidence in the gold prices. The crypto prices are back moving upwards, and it's just sentiment because there's money out there. So it's just sentiment and emotions that are driving up and down without really fundamentals right now.
yeah, and if you look at the moving average over here, we have it at 820. And what I find really interesting about this moving average, suggesting that it's going to be going there, is when you take a good look at naturally their earnings per share growth. All right, and you
Yeah,
have their estimates that are still going higher. And I had said in the last one as well that I wouldn't be surprised, the way this is actually going up. We see a 16 over here, 16 cents. Hold on a second here. Let's go back over
that's
here.
it. Yeah,
And we over here at 16 cents because it's just, it almost seems like picture perfect staircase here, which is
yeah,
pretty nuts. And of course, we look at the negative earnings of the previous years over here. All right. And you can see the negative earnings are always decreasing significantly. Another steady rise, almost like the steps that you see up here, you see it here, and you see that revenue growth is pretty steady as well. At what point will it, start to taper off? Well, that depends. I mean, the digital market space, we definitely need everything that companies like this are offering. And where I was getting into it with the Sandeep, and as well, we see that they have the understanding and the knowledge, and they have the skill set and everything to get into the next phase of the digital era of zero trust. Now, when we go down, we see a strong recommendation rating of 1.9 buy, which we were
yeah,
talking about. We see a strong
yeah,
support around 5.
yeah,
And here in the analyst price targets, we have 13, by the way. We're putting it between a low of 8, an average of 1060, and a high of $14. Right now, currently sitting at here, it says 659, but we have it because of today, we have it at 666. So basically, when you look at the 820 over here for the moving
yeah,
average, it looks very possible. We have a good support at around the $5 mark, because of also what you're stating about the gap that we see all the way down here of 457,
yeah,
and we have these highs. So let's get into it with people like Warren Buffett. All right, Warren Buffett, he always says, if he could time the market perfectly, he'd be way more richer than he already is. So, you know what I mean? So,
yeah,
and
yeah,
he says that. And the thing is that it all comes down to being able to try to make an estimation of where the company is going to go in the future. Management is very important. the way they, treat their shareholders, very important. And the moving averages, revenue and earnings and all these things all come into play. And when we look at this, it suggests a very strong support of 5. You're at 666. You're looking at a moving average that's saying 820. Bollinger Bands are going up to $7 also. So it looks like you have room you could maybe lose a little bit in the short term, but in the long run, it looks like it's going up, even from analysts' point of view.
Yeah. So no, this is it's a sound company. Like I said, management is strong. I think the people are going to look at earnings in the next 3 to 6 months and 12 months, seeing what these acquisition has given, and a strong balance sheet. So very, very good company to look at seriously for not just for a trade, for the longer term.
Oh yeah, I completely agree with you. Not just for a trade, but for the longer term, because
this is the future.
This is absolutely the future. And you know what? If one day this company, this is just hypotheses now. If one day this company, with the revenue that they're making, the positive earnings, give it, another 3, 4, 5 years down the road, if they decide, and if everything goes according to plan, with, naturally every company wants to be, ongoing, right? They always want to be in the profit, right? Never know. They might turn around and offer a dividend. And you don't want to start buying it when it's at $30, because you start seeing the dividends coming out now.
Yeah.
This is the price ranges, for, the regular citizen, right? I mean, because big corporations and investment firms, these big Berkshire Hathaways and, the Bridgewater Associates, they're not going to get in. I'm sure a little bit maybe, but $15 for them, that's very cheap. And usually when a company is riding $15 to $20, they're out of the penny stock zone. They're proving what they are. And then of course they can buy up a ton load when, let's say things like dividends are on the table.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
but those are, like you said, trying to find a gem before it happens. So this could be one of them. And,
well, this is what the show is all about, right? This is exactly what the show is all about. We're doing our best with our opinions, whatever we can put on the table. Other people need to do their research as well, where, it's all about coming out and learning how to read financial statements, learning how to read, like, what's an earnings per share, beta, yields, and all these types of things, looking at the macro world, how it affects the markets. Because like you're saying even earlier, maybe it's just riding the NASDAQs right now.
Yeah.
And if the NASDAQ starts flying up, this thing is going to go up too. Highly possible.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, thank you so much, Alain. Thank you so much for being on here today. Great show. And
thank you again, and have a nice weekend. And let's talk next week again.
Oh, absolutely, 100%, 100%. All right, everybody. Always remember: research, prepare, plan, execute. Stay strong. On to the next show.
Yes, sir.
This episode is brought to you by TriStar, West Island, and 360 Punch, where there's something for everyone. 2144 Trans-Canada Route, Dorval, Quebec, H9P 2N4. Go to their website for more information. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Betweenplays Stock Market Strategies. Hit the like and the subscribe button. Head off into our description below if you'd like to know where all of our social media links are, and also the podcast, whether it be Apple or Spotify. We will be doing interviews with CEOs, with analysts, and it's not only on the stock market itself, but also on cryptocurrencies and blockchains. We will have guest speakers. We will be doing panels. You will be able to enjoy a lot of different content. Have a great day, and always remember: research, prepare, plan, execute. Stay strong.